Chelsea Boss, doctor of physical therapy, founder of Compleo, and mom of one, almost two, who's going to be here any day now. So one of the most common things we get are, I'm pregnant, now what? Or, I wish I had known that when I was pregnant. So I am going to walk you through the list of the top resources I want you to put together as you make your pregnancy care team and plan and prepare for your new family member. So first on the list, which we all pretty much do immediately, is making a connection with an OB-GYN, midwife, or whichever route you decide to go for monitoring yourself and new baby throughout pregnancy. So from a health and medical perspective, we definitely need that traditional monitoring to make sure we are safe and progressing appropriately. Now I'm going to go through the rest of the team that you need to put together to make your labor and delivery a success and as little stress as possible. So the first trimester, what was most helpful to me was meeting with a perinatal dietitian, someone who has done specific training in pregnancy and postpartum nutrition. She was able to walk me through tips for my horrible nausea and morning sickness that I was experiencing, making sure I knew the right protein goals, hydration goals, vitamins that I needed to support the growth of my little boy who's going to be joining us soon. As you move through pregnancy, other things you're going to want to consider are a birth class. I think we get this knowledge from more experienced moms that it just happens so naturally and it's so beautiful, but really there's a lot of options. It can get really confusing. And so an evidence-based birth class can really help you decide what are your goals and what do you want your labor and delivery to look like. And you get to decide that with your partner. A lactation consultant should definitely be a part of your team that you bring in kind of in that third trimester towards the end of your pregnancy. So I met with Lauren from Grow Baby Nutrition, our staff lactation consultant, and it was so helpful. Even being on my second kid, there were so many things I didn't know. So she helped look at the pumps my insurance would cover and choose the best one to order. We did something called a flange fitting. And so that is a pump piece that you use to pull the milk out. And almost every single one of us gets sent the same size from the pump company, and it's the wrong size for pretty much every mom. So making sure you know what flange size to order is going to make breastfeeding and pumping more successful for you. She was able to walk me through what early breastfeeding is going to look like, when to ask for help, and a lot of research does show a prenatal lactation consultant increases our chances of successful breastfeeding postpartum once the baby is here, if that's a goal for you. Other things you might want to consider are a doula. My husband and I have a doula who assists us in the labor and delivery process. A pelvic floor therapist is a must. You can start with them pregnancy to address any aches or pains, but also from an education perspective to make sure you are preparing your hips and pelvic floor, preparing your body for labor, and then postpartum to assist in that recovery with our pelvic floor and abdominal muscles, and again, address any dysfunction that might arise from labor and delivery. Then there is the traditional, when you're getting ready, registry recommendations. We have lots of other resources and videos on what you might want to consider as you put together the essentials for your baby. You don't need as many things as everyone tells you you do. I would actually put your funds into some of these other resources that are going to prepare your body and prepare your family. And the last thing you might want to consider is a perinatal counselor. If you are anxious at all or worried that you might be anxious, or if you've experienced depression, you do want to have those resources available to you. And there are some great plans out there to put into place. A perinatal counselor can even help you decide what boundaries are you going to set? Who am I going to allow to visit the baby in the hospital, at home? What is my plan if I decide I need support? Some of us live in a town where we have both sides of our family and lots of people here to support. And some of us may have just moved for a job and we may be not have lots of friends yet or not have as big of a support system. So a perinatal counselor can kind of help you walk through what does your village look like and how are you going to set yourself up for success in the early postpartum period. So A lot of us just sign up for that OB-GYN, and that is really important. But you also do want to consider the lactation consultant, birth classes, nutrition, physical therapist, possibly a doula and counselor, depending on your goals and needs. So that whole team is going to set you up for success as you prepare for your newborn.